Me growing up with my family, my mom's the only person who, dated a black guy. It's my dad. And I guess we're like the only mixed people in the family, I guess, me and my brothers. There was one time when I was in second grade and we had like a parent come in to volunteer for a day. And then she came up to me, she was like, "Oh, are you Indian?" and it didn't really affect me. I just told her, I was like, "No, I'm black and Asian." Yeah, I've been called Indian plenty of times, Mexican, and man, you name it, Arabic. So he said we're going to 10 now. I just hit a 3, so I got 9. So I'm gonna just end it real quick. Shoot, yeah, I've been called a lot of things. My nickname around Franklin High School is Gandhi. It's like, I know they're playing around and stuff, but when I do take it to heart, I don't really show it, because I don't show my emotions unless someone else shows their emotions back towards me. So I just take it in, I get a real sense of how it feels, and I just take it out, just go on the rest of my day.
I used to just tell people that I was just full Filipino, because I didn't really value my Mexican side since I didn't know anything about it. The only person I knew was my dad. But when people was like, "No, there's no way you're Filipino, you have to be full Mexican," it kind of hurt, but then I had to accept that I was half Mexican and just take it as a compliment, kind of.
My mom, she's from a town in Vietnam, South Vietnam, called Phan Thic. I don't know how to pronounce it. Same with my dad, but he was adopted to a Chinese Vietnamese family. What I really want to know is my dad's ethnic heritage. So he knew how to speak Vietnamese, but then his skin tone, he didn't look anything like a Vietnamese person. My mom made assumptions of him probably being Filipino or Cambodian. Like my uncle, one of my mom's close friends from Alaska, said he was still alive, but then my other family members said he was dead. The only thing I really remember is that I got this scar because I was walking behind him and he opened the car door really fast. That's the only memory I really have with him, to be honest.
It's challenging to express my white side because I never knew my grandpa, but it's actually fun expressing Vietnamese side since I'm always surrounded by my mom and her family. I do take it serious sometimes because when I do go to school or get these awards, they're like, "Oh, you're so smart," and and that's because you're Asian. You're so good at math because you're Asian. So they bring in these kind of stereotypes of being Asian into what I achieved. Some people ask me, "Oh, are you in honors for math?" And I say, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, is that because you're Asian?" Okay, I'm Asian, but that doesn't mean I didn't put in hard work to get into honor classes.
With my native culture, I'm from Makah tribe. Usually every summer, I go to my reservation, which is Nia Bay. It's on the coast. During school, I still see my native family. I go to basketball tournaments and usually my native family takes me. But this one time, at this native tournament, we went to Walmart. I think we were getting food or something. And we were just looking around and there's this white dude following us around and he kept on calling us the N-word. And then we left and he had his car and he was following us. But then he just kept on saying the N-word and then eventually he left.
This is right here, you slide it out, bro.
Oh, say swear. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna have to slide it off. So I gotta start spinning here?
Go food or drink?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I was about to.
So I need to spit how much? This much? To that line? None of that got in there.
That is nasty.
It's not even going down.
Oh, it's leaking.
That's good, right?
God damn.
So it was a ninth grade year, and the teacher was on this topic about her favorite food is tacos. And me and my friend walk in, and we come to class like a little bit late. And she was on the topic about tacos are her favorite food. She was like, being a taco, she was like, Romeo, how do you feel about tacos? And then I was like, why do you assume that like I even eat tacos? She's like, well, aren't you Mexican? And I was like, yeah, but you just don't generalize that on me. And then she thought I got all offended and then apologized later. But it just made me go to realize that like people don't try to be like racist or stereotypical towards you. It's just like it happens. So I wasn't like really hurt because it was like, okay, I am Mexican, like you can't do nothing about that. But like my Filipino side is like more than my Mexican side. So you just don't have to generalize that on me just because my last name's Hernandez. But I see where people are coming from at the same time. Because at the end of the day, it's all just assumptions. Like, I feel like I'm not enough for each side. That's why I kind of don't like being like mixed, because like you go and hang out with some Mexican friends, I get told all the time like, oh, you're not even real Mexican. You don't speak Spanish at all. You don't like soccer. Like it's like I'm kind of like a letdown, I guess. But then I go to my Filipino side. They're like, you don't speak Tagalog, you don't speak Ilocano, like this and that. And like, so it's like I'm not like enough. Like I'm just right in the center.
My grandma is from Suc Trang, which is southern Vietnam. That's where the U.S. troops were mostly down, like, because the communists is from the north, and my mom and my grandma's from the south. My grandma had met a European American soldier and had my mom at the age of 16. My mom, she is considered Amerasian. So during the Vietnam War, there was a lot of kids being born, you know, and Vietnam and U.S. really didn't accept them, so they were kind of like leftovers. A way to describe it is a disgrace. You have a father who fought in the war against us, so then we really don't accept you as one of our own. So it was kind of like the kids weren't only discriminated, but the mothers too, because they would describe the mothers as prostitutes, because like you're giving yourself up to the other side. So the mom gets like the first-hand discrimination of like, oh, you're known as a prostitute or you sold your body, and then the kids, they get the second-hand, which is worse because now their whole life is based on this discrimination between a conflict that really wasn't supposed to happen. My mother being an Amerasian, like growing up, she never told us about her story. So being mixed race in Vietnam is different. It's not common. Being mixed race is like, oh, you're different, you're an outsider. So that's where I think like she doesn't talk about it, because then she's still considered an outsider, but she doesn't want to be considered that.
I had like a while back, one of his friends messaged me asking if I was Tommy, and I was like, yeah. I was one of my dad's friends, just like asking me if I was Tommy. He was like, wow, you look so different. I asked if he was still alive or not, and then figured out that he was. I think my mom just didn't want me to associate with him because of like the things he did. Like he didn't want him to like influence me in a negative way because of like problems they had, I guess.
We both people out.
Our defense was rough.
Bro, you guys know, bro, Jermaine Curse, bro, Doug Baldwin, Golden Tate. When we had all them receivers, bro, bro, our options were crazy, bro. You couldn't, you had to play a coverage on all of them.
And then we
had
shut
all
them out on
and
defense.
then we had Marshawn Lynch.
Like doing the Southeast Asian program, it like really broadened my knowledge around, being Kamut. I also, talked to my grandma a little bit about it. I see myself as more Asian than I do as I am African American because like that's how I was raised with my Asian side. When people ask me like what I am, I'm like I just mostly tell them that I'm like just Asian. So when they call me Indian and they say I'm good at math and stuff, that math is like one of my favorite classes or something. I mean I have a problem with it, it is, but that stereotypes shouldn't generally exist because it's like these stereotypes prevent me from being myself because if people like tend to like pin these stereotypes to me, then I'm gonna have the need to fit into those stereotypes. It drags me away from being like what I truly am.
Bulletproof vest.
I don't know, I was just listening to last night.
I'm saying.
Fuck with it.
I first found out I was macaw. I was probably like 7 or 8, and my mom just told me. She told me because we were going out for a camping trip, me and all my family. We're gonna get a cabin out there and see my family I haven't met yet. I met all my aunties and uncles, cousins, and then I met my cousin Ollie. That's who I'm closest with, and who every time this summer I go and stay with Ollie. The first time we went out there and I met Ollie, we got these dirt bikes and we went in these sand dunes, but you're not supposed to ride in the sand dunes. So we went in there and we started slipping everywhere and we went off this little jump thing and we both fell off and the muffler didn't have no guard on it. So I burnt up my legs. It was active. At first I wasn't planning to stay the whole summer, but it was fun out there. And we could do whatever we want, fishing, hiking, hunting. Every year we have Macaw Days. That's when we celebrate like the tradition and history of the tribe. So we have like food stands, traditional dances, talent shows, canoe races, bone games, like all the stuff. What I like best about Macaw Days would be the food. They got everything from fry bread to teriyaki. Got some good shit out there. We have fireworks. There's a whole bunch of fireworks that come out the water. Big ones, illegal ones, all the shit. At first they didn't know who I was when I started Coach Me Bay, but as I kept going out there, they knew I was Ollie's cousin, and they knew I was Macaw, so I just have a whole bunch of friends out there. And they know I'm native and stuff, so yeah. When they see me in Seattle, they think I'm just a black kid. I get all the black stereotypes. Cause I'm tall, black. I got the hair. But in Mia Bay, it's different because they know me. It's a small town. They know me. I'm Jelani.
How do I look? Are we ready? Okay.
Yeah, I better not be European. I'm gonna be off that. The fuck?
Wait. Where the fuck do I go?
Oh snap! No way. It says I'm 52.2% East Asian, 32% Indonesian, Thai and Khmer, 11.2% Vietnamese. I'm 26% Sub-Saharan African, 18.8% European, and 1.9% South Asian. It's a lot of information thrown in my face that's brand new. Growing up, my parents just told me I'm strictly, black and Kamut. But reports tell me that, you know, I have white in me, Indian, Native American, and it's surprising because it's actually a big amount of European in me, 18%. So that's something I didn't know, and it's something my brothers know too.
45.6% European, 51.6% Southeast Asian, 30.8% Northwestern European. My mom and my dad, they're both half Vietnamese. So I knew there was gonna be like 50% white because both my parents are half white.
I'm 67.2 East Asian and Native American. And I'm 26.1 European. I'm 2.1 Middle Eastern and North African. It just takes me by shock about like how like broadly you just be like, oh, I'm just half Mexican and half Filipino. But like, it just gets way deeper when you actually find out what you like, down to the finest point what you are. Like I never knew I was like part white. Like everybody thought I was part white, but since my dad was Mexican, I always said, oh, I'm half Mexican and half Filipino. But then now that I found out that I'm more European and Mexican, it just kind of takes like a wide turn around what I've been saying this whole time.
What? All right, hold on. Let me click on this. All right, so 74% Southeast Asian, 5% East Asian, 13.5 West African. Bro, yeah, I'm 15% Sub-Saharan African. I already suspected that my dad was African American, but I wasn't sure until I took this test. I don't really know how I feel. I'm just surprised. Like it makes me want to like, you know, go out there and meet with my dad so he could take this test as well so I could find out what he is. But yeah, it feels good just finding that out.
Let's see what this shit's looking like. Oh shit, I gotta sign in. Hope I remembered this. Whoa, 45.8% East Asian and Native American. I already knew that. 36.5 Sub-Saharan African. 14.3% European. 0.4% South Asian, and 3% unassigned. The fuck is that? I'm mostly East Asian and Native American. Honestly, it don't even mean nothing. Because at the end of the day, people are still gonna see me as a black kid.
I was at a temple, some type of temple, and they were just doing a ritual like for my grandma. But right when I got there, I seen my dad. He was just sitting like far away. I didn't even know that was him. And then next thing you know, like he stood up and walked up to me. He just looked at me like, wow, you look different. He was like, wow, I didn't recognize you. I just nodded my head. I didn't know what to say. I mean, like I was like surprised because I seen my dad and he looks different than what I remembered because now he's so old. It was just really, I don't know. I felt something. I was like, yeah, that's my dad, but you know, he was really never there for me. I talked to him. I seen him. He was like, yeah, I have lots of baby pictures of you. I still have them. I wanted to see them, but you know, I didn't really get a chance to. But then when I was there, and I see my dad, he had his own little room that he slept in. And I seen him he had his shirt off. And I remember because he had a tattoo of my name and my mom's name. And then my cousin was just talking about, yeah, he's a dumbass for doing that, you know, because, you know, him and my mom aren't together. I mean, if I was to get a tattoo, I would get my mom's name because it's my mom. She does everything for me. It makes me sad, but yeah. Yeah, my mom, she played 2 roles. She did a good job at it, to be honest. She always kept me fed. She always knew what to do. She was never worried. My mom be saying like, oh, sometimes you remind me of your dad. You know, I could be stubborn, I know that. But yeah, my mom just always, she always sometimes be like, oh, you don't be like him. You don't want to end up like him. My mom says that because she thinks he's a failure and shit. No. That's all. Yeah. Like, I still want to build a relationship with my dad, you know. I can still get a chance to, so I'll do it, you know, as soon as I can. Because I'll be down there soon. And, you know, I'm not just gonna be the way I am now. I'm gonna, you know, build a relationship with him.
Think about like how like truly unique I really am. Like because like there are like mixed people, but at the like same time like it's just like hard feeling because like you feel like you're like the only one. But then once you find people like that, it's like you have like a whole nother bond. That's why most of my friends are mixed and stuff because they all know where like we come from and stuff like that.
My goals is first is to graduate high school, graduate college, because my mom, when she came to the States, her highest level of education was middle school. Like, she didn't have time to go to school because 3 years after she had a kid. So she knew that she had to grow up fast, she had to get a job.
I don't give a fuck what people think, but at the end of the day, like, I know what I am, and I know I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I identify myself as Black, Native, Filipino, because I feel like I am true to those things, in a way, and I can like learn more stuff about it.
It's all on like yourself, like how you want to see yourself. You don't like let other people perceive who you want to be and how you act. So if I see myself more Asian than Black, that's not a problem. That's just how, you know, you're raised. You can't let other people like determine who you are.